Yeah, firstly, just want to give credit where credit's due. I thought Australia played a fantastic game of rugby tonight. If you're in our change room, you'd know the boys have been through the mill, and it was a really tough game. And just the sort of game, if you're going to break a record on, that you would want, so you can be actually proud of the record. So obviously we're very proud that we've got to 18, but we didn't do it easy. We had to work hard for it, and it took to that 65 minute mark until we actually got really on top, and the boys managed to score a couple, and probably the turning point was when they didn't get their one awarded, and mentally we got a bit of a charge out of that. Maybe they felt a bit flat afterwards, but after that we certainly came back. Our subs came on and played particularly well again, as we've asked them to do all season, so another good night for them.
Who's got first question?
Steve, given the lack of possession throughout, how happy with this, once again, another big defensive effort?
Yeah, well, in the first half we struggled with the ball, and we kept giving it back to them, so you have to defend when you do that, and we didn't do that well in the first half either, I didn't think so. But what we did do was we scrambled for each other and we worked hard for each other, and it wasn't until the second half we really started to come forward and make some dominant hits and get some control of the defensive area and slow down their ruck ball. So, but you know, it's a two-way thing, isn't it? Attack and defence, you've got to do quite a bit of both if you're going to be a good side, and this team is defending well and attacking well. I think we're averaging 6 tries a game, and we're not missing many tackles, so again, something we can be proud of.
Kieran, can you just talk about what it means to the boys to have achieved 18 test wins in a row, never been done by anyone?
Yeah, I think it'll sink in time, I guess, from our point of view. Like, it felt like a big week, I guess, just because of the intensity of the game, the amount that was put on to, get into 18. So the boys would, be really proud to come through it, and, an expectation or, a different type of game, which was similar to, a final, a game that, had a lot on it. So, boys are feeling, pretty stoked, pretty happy, but know that, you had to work so hard. I think what Steve said is right, that, we always love going out there and playing well, and I think, being able to put the icing on the cake in a tough test match was the thing that was most pleasing from the guys, to score some tries. It was hard out there, it was tough. They put us under a lot of pressure, and, boys responded. It took a bit of time, but, really pleased with the way they did. Yeah, I think we're just, what ball we had, we either scored tries in the first half or we knocked it on. We just didn't really get a flow on, weren't able to put any pressure on them, and we had to make sure that we started to respect the ball and look after it. There's no right for our team to be able to finish on top. You've got to keep working hard, and the guys who have come on to the field, the 23, add an impact, and they certainly have been doing that over probably the 18 test matches, and especially tonight.
Steve, what did you make of Matt Todd's effort tonight?
Yeah, I thought he was very, very good. He stole a lot of ball early and carried well when he had to carry, and he played particularly well, and I thought Artie, when he came on, did the same thing, so they complemented each other tremendously well.
Are you likely to take 3 open sides to the Northern Hemisphere?
You turn up tomorrow about 12 o'clock, you'll find out.
Steve, you put a lot of work into getting the best out of Julian Savia. Was that all that hard work worth it in the second half tonight?
Well, the simple answer to that, yes, it was. But look, it's not just myself. This guy beside me, he's done a lot of work with him, and Gilbert and the team have worked well with him. And when you see a player go through what he went through and struggle, and come out the other side, and we know he's a world-class player when he can play well, and in the big moment today he stood up. So you've got to be very pleased for him.
Steve, did Aaron Cruden show his value to you tonight in that 35 minutes he played off the bench?
Yeah, well, Bodes has been struggling with an illness all week. He's got a bit of an ear infection, so you know, to be able to have someone like Croods, you know, most teams would be a starter, available to you, it was great. You know, he came on, he's got experience, he's a leader in the team, and he's not overawed by it all. And you know, I'm sure if Lima had been given the opportunity, he'd have done the same thing. But you know, Croods is a very valuable member of the team.
So we just had a rather extraordinary press conference tonight with Cheika. He's quite angry at you guys, angry at New Zealand media, angry at New Zealand public for the way that they feel they've been treated over the last little while. How would you describe the relationship between the All Blacks and the Wallabies right now? Is it on a good level?
I wasn't privy to what he was angry about. What was he angry about?
The bugging. He's still angry about the bugging, and he thinks he was accused of bugging.
All the pieces of material I've read about the bugging, I don't think anyone was accused. We didn't have any idea of it. So is he feeling bad about that? Or?
Angry, so.
We haven't accused anybody of the bugging. So that's tick one. What else is he angry about?
Steve, he believes the New Zealand public or the New Zealand media, there was a cartoon in the paper today, I'm not too sure, disrespecting the Wallabies. You guys haven't invited them into the shed for a beer.
They were dressed up like clowns and we didn't like that.
Well, the paper I saw, he was dressed up like a clown, eh? Yeah. Oh, well, you've got to be bigger than that, don't you? Like, I've been dressed up as a clown myself. You know, it's just, you don't want to take it to heart, otherwise it'll break you. We've got no control over what the media do. You know, we'd like you to do a few other things you do differently too, but you're on your own agendas. So maybe his beef should be with you guys. They just felt inviting them into the change. There's an open invitation every time we play. We don't get invited over there, so you know. But if they want to come in, they know they're welcome to come in. In the previous games, they've come into our shed. So you know, I think you just got to be careful that you don't take it too seriously. I think he's probably a little upset, and just leave it at that.
Steve, Michael said that the refs got it wrong with the no try to Henry's favour. What was your read on that? And was that a turning point possibly in the game?
Well, did he change his ground and did he drop his shoulder into Israel Dag? Yes. Is that allowed? No. So, you know, unfortunately, that's the way it was. Like, you have a look at the one Dane Cole's got, you're like, Foley just about tackling him. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. He got pulled up for one and let go of one. So, now that's what rugby's about. Sometimes the decisions don't go your way and you can't get all sulky about it. You just got to man up and say, well, that's what's happened. And, you know, it's a hard game to ref. And some days you get some things right and some things you don't. And, you know, in that game tonight, if you really wanted to pinpoint a whole lot of stuff, you could say, well, why did so-and-so get penalised for that? Why did so-and-so get penalised for this? Whether he's in a green jumper or a black jumper. But you've just got to be able to accept what happens on the park and then leave it there. You know, and go away and say, right, what have we got to do to get better? That's what we do every week. You know, we're never satisfied with what we've done, but we know that sometimes the rub of the green doesn't go our way in the course of the game too. Was it critical? Well, yeah, the try would have been critical, no doubt about that, but it wasn't awarded because the referee felt that the rules were broken. He's the sole judge.
Just go back on the bugging front. What's the latest that you guys have heard on that front?
Yeah. Haven't heard anything.
Steve,
It's not an issue, the bugging thing. You know, we found a bug and in the end handed it over to the police because we found out that it was the thing to do and left it with them. You know, so we don't know who's done it and don't really care who's done it. We let it go. We've moved on.
Steve, Michael didn't want to make any comment about the 18 tests in a row that you've won because he said you guys don't respect what they say. Is that true?
Well, that's rubbish. Like, we respect them immensely. What he's got to remember is that just because over the years there's a fierce competition and things happen, doesn't mean to say you don't respect them. You know, our guys respect them a lot. Like, we went to war with these guys. So, at what point is winning meaning you're not respecting them?
Kieran,
A couple more questions.
Kieran, I don't think there's any dispute that the All Blacks forwards skill set's probably superior to any other team in the world, but would you say that your mental toughness is another key difference between the gap between you and the Wallabies?
I don't know really. I can't really speak on the Wallabies' mental toughness. I think, we put a bit of work into it. It's one aspect of the game that you have to, be top notch at. Test matches, it's a physical game, but it's also a game won upstairs. So it's one part of what we got to do well. And we've got a group of experienced guys who lead the team well, keep us as calm as we can be in those pressure situations. It's about taking control when you can and making them count. And I guess down the stretch we did that pretty well tonight.
Kieran, before that try was disallowed, you had the team in the group. What were you telling them?
Pretty much what I just said. It was about getting back to our process, backing ourselves, and looking after the pill. So we hadn't quite done that yet, and that was all we needed to do.
Well done on the victory. We'll take one or two more questions and then we'll wrap it up. Cheers, thank you.
Well done on the victory tonight. For the second test this season, there's been an interpretation of the crude in the past, being forward. Would you say that's something that the referees need to look at, or is that a skills issue?
You asking me or? I suppose you said nothing going on.
Sorry, what was the question? I was sleeping. No, that's certainly not a skill issue. Aaron in this particular case just ran quite a sharp line back inwards to draw a defender and put a pass that obviously Nigel thought was forward. The TMO thought it probably wasn't, and that's how close it was. So it certainly wasn't a skill issue.
Kieran,
last question. Thanks, Mark.
Do you guys celebrate this? It's a bit of a weird time at the moment, and it's all still sinking in. But it's a pretty special achievement. You've talked about it all week. You've acknowledged and embraced it. You celebrated tonight. Is it something special you've just achieved?
Oh, certainly, Mark. It's there's been, I think, 4,800 test matches played between Tier 1 nations, and we're the first team to get to 18. So really proud. We'll celebrate. We'll enjoy tonight. Because we do have the opportunity to, I guess, to rest up a little bit and have a week off after this. So that's part of the game. Test matches are hard to win, and you celebrate every victory we get. So this will be no different, and certainly a little bit extra.
Can you get to Cyprus in 24, Steve?
I can't. No, I'm 57. I miss Cyprus that year, but I'd like to be able to go back there, Nige.
Is that a realistic goal, though? A lot of people seem to dismiss the Tier 2 nations, but the simple fact is there's not actually that many of them on the streaks list. No. Should you guys now respect Cyprus and say we're going to have a crack at 24?
Oh, well, that's the next horizon, isn't it? So you have to win all the games between now and the end of the Lions series, so it's a big challenge, but who knows? Cyprus should be congratulated for doing it. I don't care what tier you play. If you win 24 in a row, you're a good team. So we're playing. The thing for me, this conference tonight seems to have been hijacked by something that's really got nothing to do with rugby. Someone who's feeling a little bit aggrieved about things and that you guys have done, put him in a clown, make him be a clown. So we shouldn't get hijacked by that. Like what's happened tonight was a really good test match between two good teams. Some great rugby played, and there's a good advert for the game. I think 7 tries scored, and we were lucky enough to come out on the right side of it. So don't lose sight of that when you put your fingers on the typewriter. Be good.
Thanks, everyone. I think you mean laptops, but that's
just like something's on crutches at the moment, but that will be just precautionary, and then we'll take a look when tomorrow comes, and they'll get scans, and we'll see how they go.
Michael, do you have a comment on what the All Blacks have been able to achieve with their 18 wins in a row?
I don't think they really want my comment anyway. Well, no, they don't. They dressed us up as clowns today, so they wouldn't really want our comment. I don't think they respect our comment anyway, so we won't make one.
When you say they dress you up as clowns, what?
It was on the front page of the paper, bro. So they dressed us up as clowns.
Yeah, but the All Blacks didn't do that. The paper
well, That's where I think that's the same guy who reported the supposed bug, isn't it, as well? Where'd that come from? You know what I mean? So that's the way it is. That's fine, but they don't need our comments. They don't need. We obviously go out there to play the game with them, and they're an unbelievably good team. Right? They're so strong. Their bench is very strong. They come on and finish games. The way they play the game is outstanding. No doubt about that. But I don't think they need our comments.
So reading between the lines, do you take that as a mark of disrespect? That illustration in paper today?
No, mate, just,
Yeah, well, I did, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
They've put the crest on, that's our crest, and, our stuff. I think there's look, it's no big deal, really. But at the end of the day, you asked me about the comment, and like I said, if we get back to the question, I don't think they really need, they don't want my comments, or our comments. They're not interested in them. They've achieved what they're achieving, and they're going extremely well. Full credit to them.
Stephen, are you able to elaborate on what you thought of that illustration and what the team thought of something like that?
I don't want to talk too much about it, but when I think about the way the jersey's portrayed in that picture, for everyone that's pulled that on in the history of the Wallabies, I think that's pretty disrespectful.
The New Zealand commentators.
But you can't mean they won the game, so they're the ones laughing. So what do?
Stephen, the New Zealand commentators on the radio also said that sections of the crowd booing Quade Cooper was...
Yeah, that's been going on for a long time, mate.
It was embarrassing to New Zealand.
Well, they said it, but, it's up to them, mate, how they behave.
Michael, you feel like you finished the year having closed the gap?
Oh, we haven't finished the year yet.
Well, it keeps you back.
Well, not really by the score, you know what I mean? I think if you look at the score, and that's what tells the tales in the end, doesn't it, So I thought the first game was a non-event. We were really poor in the first game. In the second game, I thought we played not too bad. We improved and brought a lot more to the game, a lot more of a contest, but they were too good for us in finishing. Again, turnovers hurt us, and the turnover on the kick as well. And then again tonight, I thought we improved our play again, but turnovers hurt. So we've got to learn. We've got to start learning that you cannot turn the ball over against these chaps because they'll punish you.
Now the match is over, do you guys share a beer tonight with the All Blacks and that sort of thing?
Not that I know. We haven't been invited or anything, so it's about we had a reception after the Wellington game, so we did that there. But no, we haven't been invited.
Is the relationship between the two teams great? It seems quite on edge.
I wouldn't say so. I'd say they're on top and we're nowhere at this stage. I think that's the relationship between the teams.
Personally, as opposed to on field.
Oh yeah, mate. I would say that got me a little bit offside was the accusation that we tried to bug them. Like, really? Hello? Honestly? That they had that the whole week, and then they tried to. That's what would cause that bad for me. That show of lack of respect, that stuff. Because, mate, I wouldn't even be smart enough to get that stuff organised. I'm too busy working on my own team. Yet they hold on to it, drop it the day of the game. But they don't need to do that stuff. They're too good anyway. So it's only that they want to do it to try and needle either me or us or whatever. But that's. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's friendly.
So you wouldn't...
then again, the opposition, you're not supposed to be friendly with the opposition, eh? I didn't think.
You wouldn't share a beer with them tonight?
Of course I would if you invited me. It's not personal. It's team against team. You know what I mean? But of course I would.
Stephen, for 50 minutes, you were the better team tonight. But what do you take from, as Mike says, the score doesn't reflect that. What do you take from it?
Well, I think you take the fact that the game goes for 80 minutes, so that's the main thing. So 50 is not good enough to win here. So, we're past the stage of saying we did this and that well when we come over here. We need to stick to our game plan for 80 minutes, and it worked for 50. It needs to work for 80 to win.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.